answering their questions, educating them on different 55 plus communities in New Jersey. There's over 400, if you can believe it. And New Jersey has a lot of great tax savings and downsizing programs. Before we get into it, a quick housekeeping. As always, this isn't official advice. Our content is for entertainment purposes only. We have a very special guest today that we work closely with. Very excited to bring her on. But just to go over, like I said, a few housekeeping items. If you want to search for all the listings on our site is over55nj.homes, where you can just search for all the listings that are there for you. If you want to set up a time to chat, our website there is over55nj.chat. And if you want to send us a quick email with any questions at all, our email address is over55nj@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about more topics that you want covered. Quick reminder too, the PAS1 application is due October 31st. We're speaking to a ton of people that had no idea about this program. It's a very new program, kind of flying under the radar. And just a reminder, the deadline is October 31st to apply for the senior freeze, to apply for the anchor tax benefit, and then most importantly and most underrated, the Stay New Jersey program, which cuts your property taxes in half up to 50%. It's a quarterly rebate program, fantastic program. And New Jersey did a great job making it very easy to apply, where you just fill out one application and you can just apply for all three programs at once. I was talking to my neighbor today, and him and his wife, his mother-in-law, live in New Jersey. They both own homes, and just had no idea about these programs. I just sent them the guide. So if you want a free copy of that guide on how to apply, the things you would need to get together beforehand and exactly how to apply in the most efficient way, feel free to send us a direct message, or you can write copy below in the comments section to just get a free copy of that guide. We're happy to send it to you. So without further ado, have you ever felt overwhelmed with an undertaking that you shouldn't have taken on? So quick story. So I was working with a customer. She came through our website, loved our Facebook group, and just having a tough time like figuring out where she wanted to go next. So it became apparent she was in her late 70s. Became this parent, she wasn't really a good fit for the 55 plus communities. She was widowed. She couldn't really live by herself anymore. So she was like, Rob, help me find a CCRC community, or help me find this community. And I was looking at the community, researching the fees. I'm like, man, the fees are like $150,000 to join this community. It's pretty exorbitant. And I'm like, do we get this fee back? Do we, is this like a down payment? Do you get reimbursed when you move out? I had no idea what I was doing. So very serendipitously, someone came across our site. They went to over55nj.chat, our book a call link. You're welcome to do the same. And basically, we started talking, and she was a senior care advisor. And what a blessing, basically took care of the whole thing, guided our client in the right direction, helped research, answer all these questions that I didn't know the answers to. And she was the best person for the job. So one important thing with our group is we want to make sure that we have the location plan in place first before we start doing anything. We kind of want a vision of where you're going first. So very happy and to bring on our guest, Bridget Ervin, today. She's a senior care advisor, really awesome resource. If you had some questions about a CCRC community or a different type of assisted living community, she is a huge resource and an amazing resource. Works closely with all our customers. Bridget, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous.
Our audience is very unforgiving and judgmental. We get hate mail all the time. No,
no hate mail, please. No, thanks so much for having me, Robert, and I'm honored to be here. Just listening to what you were saying, $125,000 sounds like a deal for a CCRC from my experience. So there's so many options in supportive care that are out there. CCRCs are not the only answer, and that's how I'll start. So I'm Bridget Ervin. I am a certified senior advisor. I work with families when supportive care is needed and it is no longer safe to be at home. We're with the guru of 55 and over. So if you are in a 55 and over, that is a big range of age group. People enter at 55, and many people are living over 100 years now.
Yeah, people live a
So,
lot longer now, right? Lord
absolutely.
willing.
Uh, it's called centenarian, and I see them every day. I'm celebrating birthdays of 105,
Are you serious?
107. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, so that being said, there's a lot of factors that I touch on, um, that are involved in supportive care, community living, and I'm here to share that with you guys today.
That's
Like,
amazing. Because I feel like when we talk to, especially our customer base, like the customer base gets like lumped into one like demographic and bucket, but every
yeah.
different person has their own needs depending on how their situation and depending on their age. So just fantastic to have a resource like you that we feel comfortable connecting our customers
Oh,
to.
I think we lost you.
You lost me again?
Okay,
Am I,
we lost you for a second.
am I
So
back?
let me talk about yeah,
Yeah,
you're back.
I was just saying, yeah,
Can you
like
hear us?
yeah, a lot of people just like get lumped into kind of like that bucket. So it's just great having a resource like you that we refer our customers to.
Absolutely. And, as well, you've helped me on the back end with the same. I have the client that we're working with today, they need to get the assets and the funding for a move to assisted living, and you're helping on that piece of the puzzle. Um, so, Senior Care Authority, my inventory is specifically independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Now I'm frozen.
I think you're on. I heard
Yeah,
everything you were saying.
yeah. Independent living, assisted living, and memory care. CCRCs as well. And I can also advise with nursing home and rehab if needed. Um, we have a vast network of experts that we work with, real estate being one of them, downsizers, finance, and law, and you name it, I'll find it for you.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, because I feel like it's hard to like Google these things yourself, especially for me. Like when I started doing the research for that customer, I didn't know the first place to start, and I just felt very overwhelmed very quickly.
It is overwhelming and it's complicated, and there's a lot of emotions, and sometimes it's a crisis, and you never want to be in that spot, and you're not even thinking straight. So, I work with my clients one on one, just as you do with yours. Every client is an individual case, and we build the plan especially for them.
It's just fantastic. And so the best part about your services too is you collect, you're compensated through the communities, so the clients don't pay you up front.
Exactly. So
Listen,
I am typically a no fee service. I partner with all of the buildings in Monmouth, Ocean, and Middlesex County. We are a national corporation, and I'm the local footprint. So if you're looking in Florida, California, or New York City, we have someone who can step into my shoes there as well.
that's amazing.
It's concierge style. I keep all the contact information in Vault so that you don't have to buy a burner phone and you won't be getting all those sales calls. And I really drill down and dig in. I leave no stone unturned to find the perfect match.
It's just a no-brainer because, like, on the first story where we first connected, I was doing all the research myself, and I just turned the whole process over to you, and the whole family was involved. You went over to meet with the customer, you were talking to her, you were consulting with her. You basically cut out like 99% of the work. I'm not even exaggerating, but most importantly, like 99% of the time, because like she's been looking for about, like, it's not uncommon. Like a lot of people reach out to us and they're looking for 2 years. They're thinking about these for 2 years. But like you said
Mhm.
in the beginning of the call, like one day you could wake up and something drastic happens, and then you just run out of time.
Right. With that particular client, it was a slow progression.
Yeah.
She was still in her family home that she had been there for what, 50 years?
Yeah. Not uncommon.
Um, Her husband had passed away. She was experiencing isolation and depression caused by that. Her mobility was declining, and there was no way that she could handle that large home and huge property. Um, the decision to look at the CCRC is often where our clients do start. They're like, oh no, I have an appointment. Because, they heard that the CCRC down the road is the perfect solution. And it is in many cases. But if you're not young and active and have the years to spend in the independent piece of that puzzle, it may not be the right answer. So with our client, it was really, I call it, I found the dog a home for life. So, in addition to the big house, there was a big dog named Shadow. Shadow is a 65-pound big white dog. Um, Meant everything to our client. And, you know, assisted livings do allow pets, but usually they have a weight limit. That weight limit can range anywhere from 25 to 35 pounds. In this case, I had to tour with the dog.
We
um,
had to get his approval too.
Yes, I made so many phone calls to find the right solution, the right community, the right care, and the right home for that client, our client and Shadow. It I narrowed it down because I was able to pull a favor.
Wow.
In where a weight limit is 50 pounds on the dog in this community, I said, well, can we do something? And they did.
Yeah.
But what's most like rewarding about what we did and how I was able to help is before I even got to the community, the sales rep had texted me. He's like, I think she's happy. And because I got stuck in traffic.
Oh.
When I saw her, she came running up. Well, not running, walking over to me with a big hug, tears coming out of her
Oh.
eyes. She's like, you found me a home. She had been disheartened by the whole search, and together as a team, we really made it happen for her.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Just coming
Yeah,
up with the right solution and just like planning for something. Cause like we don't like list the property. We were selling the property, we were successful with it, but we're not going to list that property unless we have the game plan in place of where the person's going. That's just
right.
malpractice. That just doesn't make any sense. But you'd be surprised how many people just don't like think about these things, or agents that just want the listing and don't want to plan ahead of where the person's going. And then it's like, oh my God, like, what do we do? And that's when bad decisions happen. So it's all
Yeah.
about advanced planning with us. That's kind of like the key component of our company. And just to have someone like yourself to refer clients to you is just an amazing resource.
Hmm.
And she's very happy. I checked in with her. She's already making friends and just in such a better place now.
I
So
get texts all the time from her, and
uh-huh.
I get pictures of the dog from the community.
That's a boring though. That's such a great story. Because I remember like the dog, like who's going to approve this dog? But you had a connection, and like you had the kind of the wherewithal just to cut down like 80% of the search ahead of time, just with your expertise.
I
Um,
just I just ran into the executive director of that building yesterday, and she never met me personally. I usually work with, everyone that's doing the work in these communities, not the person behind the door at the computer. And I said, "Oh, why haven't we ever met?" She's like, "Well, I was at this community." And I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "I was the one that placed Shadow."
a legend.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, that dog." She's like, I'm like, "Thank you." And I gave her a big hug because,
Oh,
you know,
fantastic.
really that's what the main mission of my role is. It's family, it's comfort, it's peace of mind. And that's what I try to deliver to each and every one of my clients.
I love that. Now you said something very interesting too. Like, we never know when something will change. I think about a story where
Sure.
one of my neighbors in my childhood home, she just told me, you never know, like your life can change in an instant. And her husband tragically lost his life, had a heart attack, and she was
Yeah.
just by herself all of a sudden. Like, what do you say to someone, and what do you advise, like, let's say someone that's just planning ahead, where everything's good now? Like, how could someone get prepared in advance for a future move like this? What would you recommend?
Well, that's, my clients come to me at all stages. When I'm out in the community and I say what I do, I'm in senior living, I help families. They're like, "Where were you a year ago? I wish I knew about this service when I was going through that." Well, the biggest way to avoid that, don't know where to turn feeling and turmoil that does accompany a crisis is to prepare in advance.
Yeah.
Um, it starts simply with what I call uncomfortable conversations, the hard conversations.
The
I
tough
grew
ones that we always avoid, right?
Exactly. Yeah. For me and my family, it's a little easier. I grew up in a household. My mother is a social worker, so everything was started with a, "And how did you feel about that?" um, but for sure, with the holidays coming up, my advice is, think of two or three questions that you can present that gets your loved ones talking. Well, what do you plan on doing in the future? What if something happens? Um, and see their reaction, and then take it from there. It's baby steps.
It's baby steps. And I think it's also
Absolutely.
practice too. Like you always say, like, and like you have a similar philosophy where it's never too early to get in touch with you to
Yeah.
like kind of consult with customers.
Sure.
So customers could even like reach out to you and kind of get like a template or even like practice these conversations with you if you want to have them.
Absolutely. Recently, I just got a call from a woman in Maryland. Her mother's in New York, and she's like, I'm a little worried about mom. I live so far away. She's got a large multi family uh, building in Brooklyn. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a lot. She goes, but her memory is starting to be questioned, and I'm really worried about her. So we've been talking probably for 3 months, even before I passed the referral on to our New York representatives. I really was just kind of identifying where she's at, what's happening, who the players are, how we can help her, what resources are available for her right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because we have clients too, like so a lot of our clients are like in their 60s that come through our
Mhm.
site, and a lot of them are blessed to have their parents still alive. And some of them, like I was
Sure.
speaking to someone, we were doing the listing consultation. They were having her mother still in her childhood home, 96 years old, completely
Yeah.
independent. God bless her, like amazing. But like these are great resources, great tips to approach someone like that, where someone can drive even at that age, someone
Hmm.
that can pretty much do everything, has help, of course, family like looking after her, but
Right.
someone that's independent. Like these are great tools and like resources that you have where someone could just like think ahead with a situation like that.
Sure, sure. I mean, even in the perfect scenario, like you're saying, anything could happen the next day. So, my response to that is, wouldn't you want to make the decision and not have someone else make that decision for you? Why don't we take a look at the place down the road? I got this great girl called Bridget, and she'll go with us and explain everything.
That's fantastic. Where can so let's bring up some resources that you have. We can bring up like a screen share too.
Okay.
So what's the best way to like we'll just talk about this here. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you? And we'll send out Bridget's contact details at the end, but how do you recommend to get this process started?
Well, it all starts with a phone call.
Old
Um,
school. I like it.
Everything starts with a phone call, or I can come meet you in person. I'm a big let's go grab a coffee um, invite. I mean, I think that's what I said when I put my name in to have a meeting with you. Let's have a one on one or a coffee. um, our introductory meeting is really about who are you? Who are the players? Where does everyone live? What's going on? Um, what are next steps? What are the care needs?
Wow. Very individual, very open-ended questions just based on the individual situation.
Absolutely. Even, the true client main is the prospective resident. So it's really important to understand who that person is. Often it's the adult children that come and sit with me and are trying to organize this and really get the plan in place. But I like to understand who that person is, who they were, who they want to be. And then we take it from there.
That's amazing. I love it. Very
Yeah.
personalized, very individual.
Sure.
Fantastic.
So, one of the first things we do touch on is the legal aspect of aging.
Hmm.
any community, you have to have a POA, power of attorney, in place.
Oh wow.
I work with a lot of estate planners and elder law attorneys. There's five specific um, items that everybody should have, even you, Robert.
Oh me. Okay. I gotta get
and
going.
and believe it or not, where is it? There's an advance directive when, as a mom, I have a 20-year-old at in college. I have to have an advance directive for him. If he becomes incapacitated and he's over the age of 18, I cannot and do not have any say.
Wow.
So that's what an advance directive needs to be in place for everyone, and just have a plan. Um, as far as financial securities assets, we kind of touched on that. It's never too early to start. Um,
This is like good stuff, like because I'm thinking like too, this could be like a healthy lead into some of the more difficult conversations. Like it's just easy to like go off this checklist because like what percentage of people would you say don't have these things in place that you speak to?
uh, you know what? I would say at least 40% of my clients either don't, actually 70% of my clients don't know if it's in place, and I would say 40% of the clients don't have it properly set up,
Wow.
because you can build it, put it together, but it needs to be revisited after any life change.
Wow. And like you have like the whole like your network is huge. You have the whole network of professionals that you can just connect person to. So like they can use you as your point of contact, just like
Absolutely.
shortcut the whole process and just get it all done.
Absolutely. In the where they are most beneficial for me is when we're trying to strategize a spend down and fund a few years in an assisted living.
Right. It's like you told me how much they are. Like on average, how much do you think an assisted living is?
Um, Assisted living is multifaceted. It all depends on the location, the type of care, your preference, because I've got high end properties and I've got, really affordable, attainable properties.
It's kind of like ours, right? Like I
Yes,
should have known that.
yes,
Yeah. It's like
yes.
you kind of get what you pay for in most cases, and depending on where you want to be.
It, you know, it's all relative. So the average cost of assisted living in New Jersey is 6,500 to 8,000 a month. And the benefit of being in the assisted living, you don't have any home ownership fees, no HOA, no heat, no water bill, no dishwasher breaking down, no one has to come and cut your grass. Cables included, mostly, it depends on the community, and the internet. So, no bills besides if you want to get your hair cut.
Just one bill and you're done.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. I remember like that's what one of our clients that we helped. She had property taxes, insurance, like this,
Sure,
that, landscaping.
sure.
But this is just one bill and you're done.
Yeah, she was even tapping into the equity of her house to keep afloat. Um, so when push came to shove, we had to have the sale to even get to the next point. And I knew her budget, and we found an appropriate community, actually a beautiful community. Someday I'll take you there, Robert.
Let's go.
Um, where she can live independently. She's got a big one bedroom. The place has a pool and a pickleball court and a dog run.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That sounds a good place, and just to pay one bill and just to live there and downsize and not have any expenses, maintenance, or worries. I mean, like
Yeah,
when
and
the fees sound exorbitant at first, but when you like consider all you're getting and you're just paying one bill and you're just living stress free, just focusing on yourself, your health, and your family. I mean,
right.
I definitely see the value there.
Oh, and no food shopping because all your meals are included, snacks, happy hour every day.
Oh, nice. Well,
Typically, depending on the community.
that's fantastic. Well, I definitely get my money's worth. I think I'm a big eater. So. That's fantastic. So like I think like just like the checklist is amazing. Like I think our audience could find a lot of value in that. So if you want to reach out to Bridget, her Facebook group, our Facebook page is Bridget by your side. You could just Google her. We'll have her contact details too, where you can send her a direct message and her email address. And you can always reach out to us, and we're happy to introduce you to Bridget directly. I think the checklist would be useful pretty much for all our audience just to plan this
Mhm.
ahead. Once you get done, folks, you're just done with this and you don't have to think about it too much. I mean, according to Bridget, there is some updates involved, but just to have the initial part done and where you don't have to think about this stuff, there's such a peace of mind to that. And I think with this stuff
Absolutely.
too, it's a great lead in too to have some of those more difficult conversations. You know, just making sure mom and dad have a checklist of these things, that everything's in place, getting to know Bridget, getting her acquainted with the family, and then eventually to maybe have some tougher conversations like, you know, can you manage this on your own? Should you be driving by yourself? I think you have a tool for that too, the driving, right? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes, we do. It's called Beyond Driving with Dignity. This is a non driving test, believe it or not. The program, it's a respectful approach and consultation with the driver individually in their own home. The purpose of this meeting is really to talk through safety, cognitive ability, and really understand where the individual is at and if they might be a risk to not just themselves but the community at large staying behind that wheel. um, it's a learning conversation. It includes a series of information and cognitive exercises. The representative will discuss options because you know what? This is one of the biggest fear that all aging individuals have. At what point do I lose my independence? And the first step, sadly, in most people's mind is driving. Um, Usually, the biggest percentage of people that get in a crash are either the over the age of 80
Yeah,
or
makes sense.
or, or brand new drivers. So
Yeah, I was going
those
to say, I wish I could give this test to some of the kids that fly down my street and not just a senior.
those are the most susceptible. It allows the senior to really reflect, understand what their challenges are driving, and the decision is never forced upon them. It's a respectful um, version or alternate to mom, dad, I'm taking your keys. Because nobody wants that. They're not children, they're adults. They raised you. You're taking away their independence. It should be their decision. And that's
100%.
what we do with this program.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like a tough conversation for everybody. And like you said, nobody wants this. But if you have some sort of third party data as like a backup there, I mean, that's like
Right.
everything.
Often, the results will be sent to the family where they can share it with a doctor or someone of authority that will just be another level of to push, a gentle nudge.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, just to have like you like in your corner and like by your side as your Facebook group says is
Right.
just like such a huge resource. Like not just like for like all the resources and placing people, but just to have these conversations and start planning
Hmm.
ahead, which is what we're
So
all about.
So I want to just touch on beyond the that introductory call, what happens after. So we have the introductory call. I find out all about the prospective residents. I meet all the family. I'll send a recap email, and if the family is ready to start going, we jump right in. I will narrow down the best match that meets care, community, and as well your budget and location. Like you, I do always start with location
Yeah.
because your main caretaker should be the one that's closest to you, or it should at least be in a reasonable distance between all family members. If you've got someone in New York and someone in Long Branch, and Long Branch is taking care of mom, it is not advisable to work with communities in New York City. It's it's counterproductive.
Right.
So
'Cause-
I'll narrow it down, reach out to the communities, set up the appointments. I'll meet my clients at the community, and I am like a fly on the wall. I'm in the background. Each community has their own salesperson. And I sit there taking notes. And if something is missed, I'm there to ask it. Senior living, assisted living specifically, let's talk there. Um, it's typically rent plus care plus med management. So they'll say, oh, yeah, the room's 5,500, but your loved one will get assessed for care, and that care could cost 5,500 as well. And then instantly you're paying $10,000 a month. So these are things to take into consideration.
Wow. Just to
Um,
have you there is just invaluable because, like, we've all sat through some of these. Could be this thing, could be another thing, and like we don't know. We don't have any perspective, so we're just like nodding along with the presentation based on what they're telling
mhm.
us. And
Right.
like you're actually sending in with these meetings and just kind of not just like fact checking, but just making sure everything's okay and everything is reasonable.
Right. I mean, in the instance of our client, she even picked out her apartment. She was all excited. And then they got back to him and said, it's this much money. And I need to see all your financials. Well, maybe someone doesn't want to spend $1 million. Um, and I would never, I bring them to cost appropriate communities with the main focus of care. And then until the client says, yes, I want to talk with the community directly, I think that's where I want to live, that's when I would share any contact info. And, that's when I take a step back and I work as sort of a multi partnership with the community as well as the client, ensuring all the paperwork and the timeline are moved correctly.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, just to have you like in the meeting and just as a resource, and for you to, I just want to reiterate again that you're compensated through the community. You
Yes.
don't charge the client. It's just like fantastic like value and just a fantastic. You're just a fantastic resource. We can't thank you enough there.
Thanks,
Uh,
thanks. Yeah. And inventory is a lot different in the assisted living world.
Yeah, they're building a lot in New
Um,
Jersey, aren't they?
They are, and it's liquid. Like one day, this building could be filled, so we have to look somewhere else, or we have to wait. But I know all those elements before we like get out on the ground, boots on the ground.
I love that. Before we go into the fire round for questions and answers, the real
Oh gosh,
test,
we're there already.
would you like to cover anything else or anything else the audience should know about this, about getting in touch with you, things to know ahead of time? I told you
um,
the time goes fast.
yes, yes, it does. Well, listen, I am more than happy to do a free consultation, 20 minutes of my time just to get you started. If there's any questions from this presentation, please reach out to me directly. um, my Facebook site, Bridget by Your Side, or as well, they can call me directly on my cell. I work on my personals. This is our office, 201-474-8661. And you just leave a message for me and I'll call you directly.
Great. We'll have Bridget's contact info too in the group. And of course, you could always direct message her. She's a member of our group, but also direct message us. And we're happy to make an introduction to Bridget. And like I said, like in our company, great real estate planning is done in advance. So never too early to start having these conversations and start thinking about these things. Absolutely
Sure.
fantastic. All right. So let's take some questions and answers. And if you want to rewatch this, this meeting will be recorded. What are some misconceptions families have about senior living communities?
We didn't even touch on this. Yeah. So, everyone says, "Oh, I'm not putting my mother in a nursing home. I remember my grandmother was in this place." Assisted livings are not nursing homes. Nursing homes, which are now called skilled nursing or long term care, are a medical model. It's 24/7 with doctors in place. You actually, if there's life saving devices on your loved one, a trach or something of that matter, that would be a reason why they have to stay in a long term care or nursing home. Assisted living has really stepped up to the plate where they can do care through and to the end of life. Um, it all depends on the community. Some will dig deeper into care levels, and some don't. And that's something you want to keep in mind when looking. So it's not your grandmother's nursing home anymore.
Yeah, I think that's a very common misconception.
Yeah,
They just
my
lump them all together.
actually, one of the main goals of what I do is to help keep your loved one out of that nursing home.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Perfect. Next question. Bridget, you introduced this Beyond Driving with Dignity program. What inspired you to offer it here in New Jersey?
Well,
Despite
my
all the bad New Jersey drivers.
New Jersey particularly because we all drive. I remember I spent a few years in the city. Me and my girlfriends who were from Jersey, we all had cars in the city because you
Oh,
can't
no.
give up your car if you're a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
Um, it really is. It's very beneficial. It creates a buffer for the family on a very sensitive topic. There's it po- the independence matters, but safety often outweighs that. My grandmother had dementia. She got lost for 12 hours. This was before cell phones.
Hmm.
She went to go pick my brother up in a place she was unfamiliar with. And then halfway there, couldn't remember what she was even doing there. And, that just reinforces that there's many factors that that might benefit you deciding to give up the keys. In the case of my family, um, we one of the relatives was getting their license, and we convinced grandma to just, you don't drive around, you walk everywhere. So why don't we gift that car to our niece?
Wow. That's a great story. You froze a little bit there, but
Oh, did I?
yeah, the last thing I heard is like, why don't you give the car to your niece?
Yes.
So, like, let's say I have a side question on that. Let's say if you want to be proactive and you want to test yourself, how often should you take the test? Like, is it a once a year, once every couple years, or are you going based on feeling?
The driving
The
test?
driving
Yeah.
test.
Oh, no, no. It's really a one-time deal.
Oh, okay.
It's there to help the family and loved ones communicate their concern. And the loved one will, may listen, may not, but it's about, continuing to bring up hard topics, hard conversations.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just had an idea too. Like, you could always get someone at Tesla, put them in the self driving mode.
Well, until that happens on a regular basis, um, we're still going to be driving.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem for our children as it will be for our parents and ourselves.
That's right. Yeah, so we're going to be the people that are navigating this. What fun.
Yeah.
What do we have next? From your perspective, how does real estate fit into the bigger care planning picture?
So, we talked about care communities costing anywhere from like 6,000 to 8,000. And then costs rise. Memory care is 8,000 to 14,000 a month. How does the regular individual, the middle class individual who's just getting by pay for that? Well, your biggest asset probably in New Jersey, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but the biggest asset that we are sitting on is our home value and property.
That's right.
Um,
Very much the case
Mom,
usually. Like you'll be surprised like how many people, how much equity you have in your house.
sure.
And sometimes that just like saves like so many people we talk to that may not have savings that are running low on their savings. They just have a ton of equity in their properties.
Yep.
So
So, what is the average home sale in Monmouth County?
oh, a Monmouth individually. I know
Yeah,
statewide we're like in the 600s we would have to be. But Monmouth County probably
600.
higher.
Yeah. 600 will pay for at least, if all goes well, at least 4 years in an assisted living. And there's strategies in place, and our New Jersey laws do really support the health care of our seniors. So there's Medicaid assist programs and spend downs at these communities, and if everything goes as expected, they get to stay on in the same community even after we've spent down that kind of money.
Right. And there's all these great programs that kick in.
Yes,
So you don't have to worry about running out. Well, it is a concern, but the fear of running out of money, the state steps in.
it does. And you won't get kicked out of your home if you're strategic enough to understand the process.
Whereas a
I
folk,
I touch on that too.
yeah, I was just thinking with a foreclosure, you definitely get kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just another reason to plan ahead. Lastly, what's one piece of advice you wish every family would remember about aging well and planning ahead?
um, well, I think I said it. Don't save for them, save for you. And probably the most important things to focus on for overall health and aging: keep your mind busy, learn new things every day, community and socialization, eat well, and exercise. All of these things are the basis of what community living, aging in place, aging well, either if at home or in a community.
Such great advice. Perfect. All right, so that's a great way to conclude it. So, Bridget, this was awesome. We definitely want to have you back for
I
another
would
show
love to.
sometime. This is just so much fun. Um, if you want to check out Bridget, we recommend you do so. Her Facebook is Bridget by Your Side. She's a member of the group too, so you could always send her a direct message. She pretty much an open book, an awesome person to talk to, a great resource. We'll have her cell phone and email address too, but very accessible, just like we are. If you have any questions or if you just want to reach out, we can introduce you to Bridget as well. Our contact Gmail is over55nj@gmail.com, and feel free to send us a direct message. If you want to start browsing homes, start planning ahead, obviously the site is over55nj.homes. And if you want other topics like this, feel free to reach out to us. We very much value your input, and we very much thank you for being a part of our community. Bridget, I'll give you the last word.
I guess be well and live
Yes.
long.
Perfect.
No, thank you so much for having me on. It was great. Touch base with your families. That's what it's all about.
100%. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Take
All
care of
right.
yourselves.
Thanks.